Hey guys, how's it going? Just here with Lara. Hi Lara.
Hi.
Just wanted to know if I can take a couple of minutes of your time to just ask you a few questions, and obviously you can see I'm recording, and we'll just be sharing this with a couple of the guys at the height.
Don't really have a choice, so go ahead.
Very true, very true. I guess what we'd like to know, well, I would like to know in particular, is just a bit about a personal experience. In particular, maybe we can look at a holiday or a vacation, time away from life and work, where you've had a bit of a different experience. It doesn't need to be something present, but something that really stands out to you.
All right. Well, you and I know we both travelled to Southeast Asia for about 5.5 months together. Travelled to a lot of different countries, and I guess there's a lot of experiences that we had in that time. But that's it was a part of my life that was pretty exciting. Seeing new things, experiencing new things, and that stands out. I think as a great time in my life.
Yep, I totally agree. Is there anything in particular out of that whole trip? Obviously, 5.5 months is a long time. But anything in particular that sort of stands out to you as a bit of a highlight, is something that you'll always remember?
Yep. We were a little bit naive, I guess. We're travelling in Malaysia at the time, and I guess being naive and young, didn't realise what Chinese New Year meant to the Malaysians. And we were that couple that didn't have a Lonely Planet, just went by fly by the seat of our pants and just would catch a bus somewhere and land somewhere. So we did exactly that. We went from Kuala Lumpur, when we caught a bus, up to the Cameron Highlands during Chinese New Year. When we arrived at the Cameron Highlands, we decided to go into a tourist information centre and find out where the closest or the best backpacker accommodation was. And they pretty much laughed at us and said there was no accommodation. And we didn't understand what that meant. What was there no accommodation in the Cameron Highlands? What does that mean? No, it's Chinese New Year. There is no accommodation. And there literally was no accommodation. There was no amount of money that we could have paid to have stayed anywhere.
Obviously, a tough position to be in, and I was obviously there, so I know that. I guess, how did that make you feel?
Oh, look, it'd been a long day. I think it'd been about 8 hours on a bus in Malaysia. Backpacking in any of those countries is you're not spending much money, so it's not very luxurious. So look, we were exhausted, deflated, and at a sense of loss, probably, because what were we going to do? There was no buses back to Kuala Lumpur. That was it. We were stuck in the Cameron Highlands with literally nowhere to go.
So would you say lost is the best word to describe the way you felt at that time?
I'm sure there was anger. I'm sure there was a few tears. Pretty sure there were some of those. It was pretty. I'd say look, if loss is even emotion, empty possibly. Angry. Angry at ourselves for not being more organised. Maybe anger's I'd say anger's the best one.
Okay. And obviously, I know the end of the story, but the people on the other end don't. But it's obviously resolved quite well, and there was a bit of a resolution. If you could share that with us, would be really appreciated.
So there was a couple of tour guides that were on the bus with us, with another couple of people, and they were obviously Malaysian nationals. Saw our distress. I guess is another good emotion that we were feeling, because it was sleep with our knapsacks on the side of the street or stay awake until something becomes available. And basically they said, look, they did a couple of call arounds for us to everyone that they knew, trying to use all of their sources and their resources, being tour agents, and said, there's nowhere for you to go tonight. We can find something tomorrow night, but look, willing to open our doors for you and have you stay at our house, and we won't stay there. We'll stay at someone else's house, and you can sleep in our bed for no charge, and please come this way.
So that's a pretty selfless act. So how did that make you feel?
There was a few emotions. There was, don't do this, we're going to die. Serial killer emotions. But in the end, we felt quite elated of the compassion that was given to us. And, of course, there was a whole other story that comes, it's probably too long for this interview, that, goes along with getting to their apartment and how we felt there. But I guess the feeling of being from two different completely countries, not knowing each other from a bar of soap, but them opening their house to us when we had nowhere else to go, it was pretty heartfelt. Felt pretty good to have that compassion thrown towards us.
Yeah, excellent. I think that's what everyone can hope for in such a situation. But look, I think that's all we got time for. And look, I really appreciate you taking the time to share this experience with everyone. So thank you.
No worries.
Thank you.
Is that better?